So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the Fill Sync tool, and what this tool is going to do is modify the elevation values of cells where water may become trapped. In other words, if a cell is surrounded by higher elevation cells, the water becomes trapped in that cell, so it kind of creates like a little pothole. So over here in my data frame, I'm going to right click on Inventory and choose New Group Layer. And I'm going to right click on New Group Layer and go to Properties, and I'm going to create a new group called Hydrology. And this is where I'm going to put all of my hydrologic related maps. And then I'm going to drag and drop Fill Sync into my model builder model. And I notice that it automatically has a DEM placed in front of here, and that's what it's going to want as an input. So I'm just going to delete that one. And I'm just going to kind of drag this down a little bit to maybe here. I'm going to use my Connect tool and connect my Marlette Park DEM to my Fill Sync as an input DEM. I notice now the tool turns yellow and the output turns green, which means it needs everything that it needs to run the tool. Go back and select my Select tool. I'm going to right click on Fill Sync and choose Open. I'm going to click on this folder next to Output Hydro DEM. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to where my Geo database is located at. And it's in D Projects Marlette Park GIS Geo Database, marlettepark.gdb. And like I said, we're not going to use the ArcHydro data model because the only thing that we're going to do is we just need to know where the areas that have potential flooding are located. So we're just going to use bits and pieces of this. So for now, we're just going to save this as Fill Sync, FLLSNK. And then we're going to click Save. Fill threshold, we'll leave this at default. Fill threshold has to do with how much you want ArcHydro to fill in your sinks. Input drainage polygons, that has to do with pond type situations. And then use is fill sync field. If we check this in, it will identify all the fields. It will create a field called is sync, and anything that is populated in that field, it'll identify all the grids that were classified as sinks and had to be filled. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK to this. And then I'm going to right click on the tool and I'm going to choose Run. Once it's done, I'm going to go ahead and click Close. In this case, it's automatically added to the data frame, so all I need to do is drag and drop it underneath Hydrology. And we can see that it looks very, very similar to what our DEM looked like, except it's a blue color. And it is pretty much the same thing as what our DEM was. All it did was just fill in all the potholes. So it's not going to look any different. The information we see here, the numerical values, are pretty much the same. We have a slight difference here with this 365.802 and .943 as a result of filling in some of the potholes.